Hi, it's Miss Nicole here, and today we're going to read Orca Song. This is by Michael C. Armour, and it's illustrated, which means they drew or painted the pictures, and it's illustrated by Katie Lee. So Orca Song. So orcas, as you may be able to see, are these whales, killer whales. A rosy sun settles over the sea. A dusk wind dances up the waves. Orca whales come leaping up the Washington coast. Stories are told that 50 million years ago, ancestors of the orca whale walked upon the land on all fours. But they so loved the water, they gave up their hands and legs to have fins and tail flukes. Now Orca is the greatest and most powerful hunter in all the oceans of the world. The leader of the pod, Bull Orca, echolocates. By sending vibrating sounds through the water, he can locate and tell the nature of objects far beyond his sight. He finds a school of salmon circling within fishermen's nets. It is a familiar practice. The whole pod will slip into the nets to feed, then escape before the fishermen notice. It's living on the edge, I think, escaping those nets. Splashing and singing at the rear of the group, not at all like a hunter, is Orca the pup. Bull Orca suddenly turns the pod toward the nets. He and the herd speed to the noisy, splashing salmon. Looks like it's torn. Just at that moment, Pup turns the opposite way toward a juicy salmon nearby. As Pup's great jaws open to snatch his catch, a storm of fishing boats close in on the whales. Bull Orca wheels around and the pod races for safety. Pup moves to join them, but he can't. His dorsal fin is caught in a sunken, abandoned cargo net. Oh no! The baby orca. Pup wriggles and squirms. He bucks and thrashes. The net only gets tighter. Then he lies still, nearly out of breath, too weak to call out. Above him, the rumbling of the boats grows fainter as they move away. Pup hears his mother calling him. He is only 5 and has never been more than 100 yards from her side. But her voice, like the others, soon fades. In the watery silence, the sunlight begins to disappear. Pup must have air, and he must join his family. He tries one last time to break free. The muscles along his back tighten. His 4-foot tail flukes strike downward. His sharp teeth cut sideways. At last, the net's mesh snaps. His 3-ton body rockets towards the surface. He is free! Whew! I was worried. Have you ever been caught somewhere and afraid you couldn't get free or escape? Air! Night air rushes into his blowhole. His lungs fill like balloons, but the fight has tried him. Alone and exhausted, Pup drifts half asleep through the lonely moonlit seas, closer and closer to land. From the shadowy hills nearby, ancient totem poles rise up to the stars. For centuries, the Native Americans along the western coast carved totems that celebrated orcas' brave hunting skills. But unseen by Pup, the totems slide by as the moon goes out of the sky. There's his top dorsal fin of the pup orca. Dawn breaks. Pup awakes. Feeling the sun's growing heat on his back, unaware he had drifted toward the shore and became stuck in a shallow pool of water. The waves must have pushed him here in the night. The outgoing tide has left a sandbar between him and the sea where he belongs. No whale can endure so much direct sun, and the sun is still rising. Oh no! He's caught again in danger. Pup has grown to understand the meanings of many sounds in the sea. Yet surrounding him now are strange voices. Along his back he feels many soft tickling sensations. Suddenly, He is being moved. Something is pushing him through the rising water of the incoming tide, pushing him back to the sea, back to the cold, back to life. What do you think it is that's pushing him back to the sea, back to the cold, back to life? Those look familiar, huh? He takes a grateful gulp of air and dives down past the dark underwater caverns, down past the fluttering kelp beds. The cold water cools his body. Pup begins to echolocate. He finds a school of herring and races for it. But Pup is young and inexperienced. All the fish hear him coming and scatter. So herring are fish, but they know he's coming, so they got away, so he didn't get a meal. Still alone and looking for his family, Pup sees 3 humpback whales rise up out of the hidden valley of the undersea. Their slow whistling songs are different than the songs his family uses, but within the notes, as if from a far-off world, Pup hears another, more urgent song, an orca song. Pup turns and drives his sleek body toward the surface. He breaks out of the water in a skybound spiral. He lands with a tail-whopping splash that can be heard clear to the mountains of the Olympic Peninsula. He looks for signs, a fin, a fluke, and signs along the coast. And then, silhouetted against the sunset, Pup sees them. 7 whales, his very own family, rising out of the waves, coming for him. They have not left him, they have come back. Their songs of happiness race before them like ribbons of joy. Orca the pup is home again. Yay! There they are, and there he is. Okay. The end.